Being the sanctimonious, condescending prick that he is, Onision has again decided to take it upon himself to give advice to his fans about emotional stability, because according to his twisted, fucked up, maniacal view of the universe that he's living in, he is somehow in a position of authority to give advice on staying sane. Let's listen.
Hey guys, I'm Onision. This is Awkward. Welcome to Onision Speaks. Alright, let's go to Curvati.com, assuming it's not completely wrecked right now. This is me taking a picture of myself. That'll be on Twitter. Please do not be a database error. Come on, Curvati, load. And we are going to contact Onision. Load, you crappy site. Okay, so Curvati.com isn't loading. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Tumblr. Hi, Onision. How can I cope with a verbally and emotionally abusive mother? I'm 17. I've been hospitalized twice because of suicidal thoughts, depression caused by the words my mother would say to me.
Okay, first things first, before I go into any detail about why your advice is so horrifically awful, I'd just like to say, I think your approach to this situation is fucking horrible. This person's a fan of yours. They've taken time out of their day to message you about quite an intricate and personal detail of their family life, something you wouldn't normally share with people over the internet, and they're asking you for advice for it. Now, I would consider that to be a very misguided thing to do, but either way, they're showing you respect by assuming that you're in a position to give advice. At least show some respect back. If I were to get in contact with someone I look up to over the internet and ask them for advice on quite an important, intricate detail of my personal life and my family life, and they responded with a video like yours that was full of choppy editing, random humor, and you taking pictures of yourself and tacky music in the background, I would feel fucking horrified, because all it indicates to me is that you don't care at all. You're only there to make money and entertain your audience and to boost your own ego, basically, and you couldn't give a fuck less about my issues at all. Why should I listen to you? It's been a complete waste of time. Please, have a bit more respect for someone who's a fan of yours and they consider you a moral authority on giving advice. Please.
First of all, I don't think you can really blame your suicidal thoughts / depression on anyone but yourself.
Greg, according to numerous videos that you've uploaded to the Onision Speaks channel in the past, you have said yourself that you have experienced depression and suicidal thoughts. If this is the case, then you should know that one of the symptoms of depression is feeling extremely guilty and blaming yourself for things that are totally beyond your control. Now, if you're saying to this person, I blame your depression on you, you're only contributing to the problem, because they're going to feel guilty about that, and that in turn is going to add to their depressive emotions. But what really stuns me about all of this is that despite having supposedly experienced depression in the past, you seem totally unable to empathize or show any understanding to a fan of yours that is experiencing the same kind of thoughts that you used to feel.
Because that individual could say the same horrible things to another person and they wouldn't have the same response. So you have to take some accountability.
Of course! People will have different reactions to a comment depending on their relationship with the person saying the comment. You cretinous, cancerous pile of dung. Oh God. This is beyond... This is beyond insane. If my mother, for example, says to me, you're a worthless sack of shit and I hate you, that's obviously going to affect me in a different way than if some stranger off the fucking street says it to me. Obviously. That doesn't mean I'm to blame for some reason because I have an emotional connection with my mother.
Realize that if you focus on being stronger and not letting it get to you, that you'll be much better off. And in that, it seems like the real blame falls on you, because the bottom line is the person with the most control over you is you and not her. So don't you think the person with the most power and control in a situation where some kind of crime or bad thing occurs should be held to the highest level of responsibility or accountability? I would assume so. Like, your mom could probably say a lot of horrible things to me and I'm not going to be suicidal.
How could you be so mind-bogglingly, obscenely fucking stupid as to not realize that from a scientific perspective and from a societal perspective, a parent or a guardian or a carer of any sort is, funnily enough, supposed to be a person that cares and shows you love and compassion? So, do you not think that it might be at least somewhat reasonable that someone is going to be emotionally affected by if their mother treats them badly? Do you not think that's somewhat reasonable? No, you don't. You think, oh, you're weak. You're weak for being emotionally invested in your own parents.
So, dude, that could have killed somebody. That gigantic log literally just fell from that tree. I wish I caught that though. That was incredible and dangerous.
Wow, what an incredible display of sensitivity to that person that asked you that question. I'm sure they're going to feel so much better after having watched this careless video.
Anyway, to continue, they say, just today I asked her to take me to Walmart and offered her $15 gas money, and she told me to take that $15 and shove it because it wasn't enough.
Don't get me wrong here, I agree that it's very silly and trivial to get upset over such a small occasion is this Walmart example she's given. But you need to understand something, at least have the foresight to realize that that's not what she's talking about. That's not the general idea of what she's saying. What she's saying is it's a build-up of occurrences like that over several years. If you're being talked to like that constantly by your parents, then I can understand why you'd be very upset.
Well, as I explained before, you're in control of how you feel. You shouldn't blame how you feel on anyone but yourself because of the fact that you have the primary power and the primary control in every single situation involving your emotion.
So basically what you're saying is, in any situation where you get upset, it's your fault. Because apparently, you can just switch on and off the upset button. And you can just logically decide whether you're going to be happy or sad about a situation. Really. If you're upset about anything, it's your fault. Automatically. Because apparently you can control your emotions. That's the most insanely horrific, fucked up idea I've ever heard you spout from your ignorant mouth. Seriously. The bottom line is, I think you can control your emotions in very small, minute situations. But with something as big as having an abusive mother, that's not a case of controlling your emotions. If you're depressed, by definition, you cannot control your emotions. Your failure to grasp this, especially as apparently being someone who's experienced depression, is just astounding. Greg, considering how much of an emotionally unstable train wreck of a human being you are, and I'm not even kidding because it's self-evident in your Onision Speaks videos that you're a complete fucking nutcase that throws tantrums whenever you don't get what you want.
This is my fucking body!
At what point did you think that you, of all people, would be in any position to give these condescending lectures to people about keeping in control of your emotions? The fact that you consider yourself an authority figure on emotional stability when that's clearly not the case speaks volumes as to how delusional you really are. And when you make countless advice videos like this, all it indicates to anyone with a modicum of sense in their mind is that you're just trying to project your insecurities at the rest of the world. I'm emotionally stable. I can handle my feelings. I'm in a position to give advice. And from that, I've come to pose one very simple, basic question for you. And that's this. How do you know you're all right?